Y'all forgive me, man. I apologize. I made a real serious error. Good evening, everybody. How you all doing? This is your boy Rod Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, today is Friday, July 19th, 2021. And again, I apologize for that technical mishap that I just had. I was trying to check out something else and things get screwed. Y'all know we the ghetto version of the news anyway. But how y'all doing? Oh yeah, we finna go hard in the paint for a little bit. Please, as you all come in, delete that. As you all come in, please, man, leave a comment. And as you all watch this video, hit the like button and the share button. That helps us get our broadcast seen by a lot more people. Because lately I've been back in the fight against YouTube as far as getting our views up, as far as fighting the algorithm that basically suppresses the show. Because again, I've gotten to the point where although we are able to be monetized by YouTube, our videos are not being monetized or not being allowed to be monetized. And I don't know why. But anyway, we're gonna go hard in the paint. There's quite a bit of few things we can talk about, but let's talk about Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, black people, you gotta understand. If you ask me my opinion, hold on a second. Just 1 second. I promise I'll be right back. Right back. Okay, I apologize for that, you all. Hold on a second. Man, stop sending me these requests. I could kill it. Now, black people, understand. If you ask a person their opinion on something, you cannot get mad when they give you their honest opinion about whatever it is that you ask them. Over the last few days, I've been, not gonna say I've been out of the loop. I've just not really have cared about none of the stuff in the news. And really, I've been facing a lot of things that made me not even really be wanting to do these broadcasts. But as you all can tell, over the last 3-4 days, I've had to shake myself back. But I've had a lot of people asking me over the last week or so, what's my opinion on Sha'Carri Richardson? Black people, I'm going to just keep it real. Everything ain't racism. A lot of stuff come down to making stupid motherfucking decisions. Let me ask y'all a question. If you know you got the most important job interview coming up, the most important job interview in your life coming up, and part of that interview process is that they're going to drug test you. I don't give a fuck if your mother dies, your cat gets pregnant by the dog, you get into a car accident with a bicycle. Nothing that happens to you should force you or allow you, I ain't gonna say force you, but allow you to think, well, fuck, I need to smoke a joint. At what point do we hold people responsible? This shit ain't got nothing to do with racism. She made a stupid motherfucking decision. Plain and simple. Now we got black people trying to compare it to Michael Phelps. But Michael Phelps was alleged to, well, he was in a video where it's showing him smoking pot, but this shit was days, weeks, months, whatever, after the Olympics. We as black people want to blame everything on racism, but never want to hold people accountable for their actions. At what point? Because her point of view was, I'm human. My mama had died, and I just needed a way to deal with it. Bitch, you know you got motherfucking the Olympics coming up. You know you got the Olympics coming up. I don't give a fuck who died in your family. At what point do you use common sense, knowing that this substance might show up in my drug test that I got to take before and after I run this race? What point do we as black people hold her responsible for her action? Shit, if you or I get high and fail a drug test on a job that's willing to pay us $100,000 a year, what you think Negroes gonna say about you? That nigga was dumb and a motherfucker. How the fuck you gonna go knowing you got this drug test and you gonna go smoke weed and you messed up that $100,000 a year job? Why y'all ain't saying that about her? Why is it that they racist? They don't want her to run. No, she fucked up. And that's the only way you can put it. She fucked up. Now, I'm supposed to get mad and claim white supremacy made her smoke that motherfucking weed that got her banned from the Olympics. Think about it. She got blessed because they only gave her a 30-day ban. But when it came down to it, the United States Olympic Committee said, no, we're not going to put her on the relay. Because if she did this, she needs to suffer the consequences of her action. But you niggas make it seem like, y'all may seem like Adolf Hitler himself was resurrected from the grave and went against this woman. No, she fucked up. Plain and simple, bruh. So why now I got to get out and protest for a woman who, no matter, again, people deal with tragedies in different ways. But let me ask you, a lot of y'all, how many of y'all have been on probation or parole and had to take drug tests? My dumb ass was on probation when I was on that, when I beat that life sentence and they dropped it down to 7 years. The last 3 weeks of my probation, I went in that motherfucker and tested positive for marijuana. Knowing that now they can go back and violate my probation, which probation and parole is different. Here in Louisiana, if you're on probation, you can, if you're on 7 years probation, you can walk down those whole 7 years, just say 7 years, 11 months, and 28 days. If you go in there and test positive for any kind of drug, they will wipe out all that time that you have done on the streets on your probation and go back and give you that whole 7 years. My dumb ass went in there thinking that I could drink pickle juice, water, and put a little bleach and whatever I thought I could do. And I failed the drug test. And it was only by the grace of the Creator that they couldn't violate me because I had paid all the money that the Bossier Parish had asked for as far as restitution. The judge was like, fuck it, man, we're not going to violate him behind one drug test when he paid almost $7,000, $8,000 of the restitution. Why is it when we started out, we had 5, 7 people watching this video, but when I told you the truth, again, don't ask me my opinion if you don't want the truth. Now, we had this video to drop down because a lot of Negroes probably saying I'm a sellout. Guess what? I don't give a fuck what you say. Why you won't hold that woman accountable? You all evidently are holding me accountable for my opinion, but you're not holding Sha'Carri Richardson accountable for her actions. This woman knew she had a motherfucking drug test coming up before and after, probably during the World Championships, whatever it was that she was participating in. She knew in order to go to the Olympics, she had to take a drug test. She smoked weed anyway. So I could care less if everybody put the thumbs down on this video. The truth is what it is. If you got the audacity to put the thumbs down because I simply spoke the truth, I'm not right all the time, and you're not wrong all the time. But in this situation, I know I'm right because it's a matter of choice, personal responsibility. We as Negroes would rather blame Satan on the fuck shit that we do, the fuck choices that we make. We'll blame the devil. Well, you know the devil business. Now, bitch, you the one who made that choice. Because even if you do believe in the devil, he can only tempt you with what's already in your heart. What you already want to do. And again, I have sympathy that her mother passed, but that is no motherfucking excuse to smoke weed knowing you got the Olympics. This shit ain't just like a regular drug test for a job or probation and parole. This was for a once-in-a-lifetime chance to run in the Olympics. Everybody wanted to see her race against a chick from Jamaica, and she went out and smoked weed. She went out and smoked weed, and what they supposed to do? Are they supposed to bend the law? Y'all want them to break the law to let her run as black people. But yet still, if your nephew turn up positive on the drug test, first thing you're going to say, well, you shouldn't have been smoking weed. How fucking hypocritical are we as black people? Everything ain't white supremacy. Some shit based upon your own decision, the choices that you make. Guess what? If you make good choices, you'll reap benefits. But if you make bad choices, you're going to suffer consequences. Plain and simple. And as you all can see, I don't know how many people are actually watching right now, but we went from 5 to 1. 1 viewer. That's what I'm showing on my screen. Y'all understand really, like, just keep it real. Do y'all really understand why I be going hard to paint with the subscribers on this channel? Now, I'm going to be very diplomatic and I'm going to be very respectful, but I'm going to be real. I'm starting not to even give a fuck about the subscribers on this channel per se. Now, I know there's a lot of people who support this channel, who love what we're doing, who maybe want to help this channel, but financially can't. But do you think I give a fuck about you all's attitude when y'all get mad at me simply for telling the truth and you really wanted me to uphold a lie? Because if you sit around here saying that they going to get this woman just because of black, she black, you need to take your motherfucking brain out your head and flush it down the toilet. No, this black woman made a fucked up choice. How many of y'all got your little cousin again who failed the drug test, and the first thing you say, well, shit, you need to go back to jail. You knew he had to take a drug test. You'll sit back and put your own motherfucking family on the fire line, but now you want everybody on every black person in America to stand up and say, let her run. Let her run. I'm saying, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Because she made a choice to smoke that weed, even though it's marijuana, and marijuana probably not going to make her run fast. Marijuana probably going to make her gain a little weight because she's going to be hungry if she's smoking some good weed. But she put a banned substance in her body. And if she didn't know the rules, fuck, she don't need to be running anyway. So I could care less about people hitting the thumb down on this video. Truth is what it is. Matter of fact, I invite you, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, hit the thumb down, because you know what? It still counts as a view. You've been watching this video, and YouTube gonna count it as a view. But don't ask me a question if you don't want my honest opinion on the subject. I noticed that instead of engaging me in a conversation by leaving comments, motherfuckers just turned around and stopped looking at the video. Maybe they stopped looking at the video because I cussed. And they stopped listening at my video, and now they listening to Young Thug talking about eating coochie, or Cardi B talking about selling coochie. See how we are as black people? Motherfucking black people, we're the only people that really don't want to hear the truth. We would rather blame everything and everybody for the poor choice that we make. Like for the last 5 months, man, I've been struggling like a motherfucker. Really. It wasn't all my choice because the house that I had a fire. The house I've both been going into had a fire. Man, do you realize the choices I had to make a lot of time over the last 5 months meant that I had to decide whether I wanted to eat that day or pay for a place to live for me and my puppy. But I made the right choice. At what point do we hold ourselves accountable and stop blaming white supremacists? Tell me what white supremacist made her smoke that joint? I'll sit back and wait for you all. If you all want to say they just doing it because she black, tell me what white person made her smoke that joint, knowing that she was the world of the most watched person in the world because everybody wanted to see her run against Merlene Ottey. I think it's Merlene Ottey, the woman from Jamaica. Everybody wanted to see that. She knew this, and even though she had a tragedy, quote unquote, in her family, she said she smoked weed because her mama died. Guess what? Why couldn't you wait till after the Olympics to smoke that weed and grieve? So that one moment of grief caused you to smoke a joint. Because guess what? I can guarantee you, when she was hitting that joint, somewhere along the line, and she's smoking a blunt, she had even extra time because a blunt is longer than a joint. Somewhere along the line while she was puffing on that motherfucker, she was thinking, damn, I got to take this drug test. How I'm going to beat it now. And we all did that shit. If we didn't smoke weed, knowing we got to take a drug test, one of the first things going to come in your mind is now, how am I going to beat this drug test? So you cannot sit up here and blame her bad decision on white supremacy and expect me to give a fuck. You ask my opinion, you got my opinion. Like it, lump it, whatever. Please, y'all, come on in, leave your comments. Now, we're going to be through with that situation, that whole story, but I'm going to keep it real. It is what it is. She made a bad choice. That shit ain't got nothing to do with white supremacy. It ain't got nothing to do with racism. She fucked up. Just like a lot of us do, she got to suffer consequences for her action. You and I have to. Why the fuck shouldn't she? Oh, y'all, I'm back to the real me. Because again, like I said last night or in the other video last night, man, I'm not getting no support. You're going to either roll with this channel or you can unsubscribe. Truth is, I really don't give a fuck. If we go from all the subscribers that we got down to none, I'm cool with that shit. Because guess what? Ain't nobody really helping me continue to make this channel bigger and better. Nah, fuck that. I'm going to keep it real. Again, I'm not even worried about YouTube. Even though we've been blessed and able to get monetized by YouTube, YouTube is not allowing us to get monetized. So fuck it. Why would I try to change when what I've been doing and what I'm doing now has gotten me to the point where I'm at? Because I know a lot of you all subscribe to this channel really lately just because of a video that I showed on New Year's where niggas was shooting. If I did not show that video, we probably wouldn't have had the 300-400 people that we had to subscribe to this channel in the last 3 months. A lot of them wouldn't even subscribe. They subscribe to this channel looking to see more shooting videos. But that's not what we do here at the Real News Behind News. The Real News Behind News, what I do here is give you real information. Although it's my opinion on a lot of things, my opinion is based upon factual research. Sometimes I might do research 5-6 weeks or days or hours, but I'm a delve off into the dive deep off into the research before I bring you one of these shows. We done went from 7 people watching us live down to 1. Why is that? I'm not saying nothing no different than what I normally said. If you're offended by the cussing, then you need to stop listening to rap music. Plain and simple. You need to stop watching a lot of these movies and shows that they deliberately designed to give to black people that promote homosexuality and drug dealing. You're mad at me because I said a couple of cuss words and told the truth about this black woman. Guess what? I don't give a fuck. Because guess what? When it all comes down to it, ain't nobody finna hit the Cash App or PayPal. I shut this video off right now and not give a fuck. But I do give a fuck about my people. And I want my people to understand there comes a point where you got to stop blaming everybody else for the bad decisions that we and others in our community make. Because everything ain't about no white supremacy. Everything ain't about racism. When you know that you got a drug test coming up and you go out and smoke motherfucking dope, what white man forced you to smoke that joint? Answer that question. If it's white supremacy and racism, what white person forced her to smoke that joint? I'm waiting. Ain't nobody got no comment for it? Please, as y'all come in, leave your comments, man. Join in. I'll be very respectful when it comes to let me see. I'll be very respectful. I'm not going to go off on you if you make a comment. We're definitely going to talk about it and have dialogue on it. But instead of coming in and even though you're disagreeing with what I'm saying, tell us why you disagree as opposed to leaving the channel. I mean, leaving the show. Do you understand now why? Because like I say, we started out with a bunch of people waiting. We had 5, 6 people waiting for me to start the show while I was doing other stuff. And as soon as I started the show and started talking about this, motherfuckers started leaving because as opposed to creating a dialogue, motherfuckers like, man, fuck this nigga. He's so negative. Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna just be real. Ain't nothing negative about what I said. A lot of you all got cousins, nephews, brothers and sisters who had to take drug tests, made a dumb decision, failed the drug test, messed up a good job or went to prison. And y'all gonna say, first thing y'all gonna say, well, he knew when he smoked that joint what was gonna happen. But now since she run track and she's on a national spotlight, I'm supposed to give a fuck about her making a dumbass decision that you, in turn, will put your own brother, nephew, uncle, nieces, mothers and fathers down, talk about them like a dog, saying how bad stupid they were because they fucked up and lost $100,000 a year job because they smoked the joint. And I'm supposed to give a fuck about that dumbass shit? I'm supposed to give a fuck? Guess what? If I had 37 fucks, I wouldn't give her one. If I had 37 fucks in my pocket, I would not give her one because she knew that she had to take that drug test. I don't give a fuck. And I don't mean to sound cold. I don't give a fuck if her newborn child died. You know you're going to run this race. You want to run this race in the Olympics. At what point do you make the conscious decision to deal with the pain, to deal with the hurt, to deal with the loss without getting high until after you run that race? So now I don't give a fuck. I don't feel sad, sorry. I really don't give a fuck. She brought it upon herself. And anybody that says anything otherwise is not as woke or conscious as you might think, because that shit ain't got nothing to do with racism or white supremacy. That's just a nigga who made a bad motherfucking decision. Plain and simple. Anything y'all want to talk about? I spent 26 minutes cussing everybody out. Well, I'm not cussing everybody out. I'm just keeping it real. Again, we're not getting monetized by YouTube, so why should I go back, continue to talk without cursing? When it's the cursing that really got me to where I was, to where I am. And they got people following this channel, subscribing to this channel. And again, to you all who subscribe to this channel, just because of that video I showed all that shooting on New Year's Eve of this year, last year, New Year's Eve last year, but coming into the new year this year, and that's what you came to this channel expecting me to show you videos of niggas getting shot or more shooting videos. Sorry to disappoint you. Now, we did have a gentleman to ask me to give an update. He just asked me this yesterday, left a comment and asked me to give an update on that video about the shooting. Guess what? Niggas are still getting fucking shot. We're on pace right now in Shreveport to break the record that we set last year for number of murders. That's not including the shootings where people are getting injured, but just on murders alone. We're on pace to shatter last year's record, which is why I did that video. I did that video to let black people know keeping the gangster is keeping your neighborhood looking like war zone. Keeping it real sometimes goes wrong, brothers and sisters. Because by you keeping it real, your neighborhoods are looking like war zones. Now you got cops coming into your neighborhood. Why is it that we can always rally when the police officers shoot a black man, but when niggas shoot each other, we got nothing to say? Oh, I'm keeping gangster. I ain't finna tell nobody. I ain't finna say nothing. But then yet still, you say, when the police kill somebody, they got to be held to a high standard because we pay them. They around here killing people, and they don't even go to jail. Well, guess what? I go forward and say 70% of the murders in black communities don't nobody go to jail because niggas are either too scared to tell or they keeping it gangster. So how the fuck you gonna get mad at the police for coming in and killing you when in reality they coming in, they scared. They coming into a neighborhood that already looks like some shit over in Afghanistan or Iraq. They are afraid. Well, let me ask you a question. Why are you blaming the police when I know in your neighborhood there's a bunch of men living in your neighborhood? Where are these men, so-called men, in your neighborhood who should be banding together, running the knuckleheads out of your neighborhood? If it's 12 to 14, maybe 30 black people in your niggas in your neighborhood causing all the trouble, should it be like 120 black men in your neighborhood who come together and say, look, we tired of it. We running you little ignorant Negroes out of this neighborhood because we want our children to live. We want our grandmothers to be able to sit on the porch. Where are the men of your neighborhood? If we clean our own neighborhoods up, guess what? It wouldn't be that many chances for the police to come in here and kill one of us. Now, would it? So where are we as black men? Oh, I forgot. We living in that generation of the 30-year-old grandmother who got a daughter sitting at the house, got a baby. She 30 years old. Her daughter is 13 and pregnant. And then she got a 13-year-old son, and she telling him, you the man of the house now. How the fuck is a 13-year-old boy gonna be the man of the house? So now he the man of the house. You sitting around on welfare. Your boy got to go out and sell dope to support his mama and his sister. Because he supposed to be the man of the house. Do y'all realize how fucked we are in the head as black people, man? We have failed for the indoctrination. 100%. Willie Lynch said if we indoctrinate these Negroes right, this shit gonna last for at least 300 years, maybe 1,000. And you can see it today. 30-year-old grandmother sending her son out there on suicide mission to sell dope so he can come back and bring the money home to her so she can sit on her ass all day on the phone gossiping or watching twerk videos. No responsibility. She can't have a man in the house because if she did, they're going to take her off the food stamps and the welfare that she on. She can't keep a man because ain't no real man going to go for this bullshit. Then they talking about a good man is hard to find. No, it ain't. They just hiding from your motherfucking ass. Really, that's what's going on. Boy, I done went off on this video and I done scared everybody off. But when somebody like me come and tell you, you don't want to hear it, you'll turn off this video here and go listening to Tariq Nasheed or one of these so-called conscious black niggas that got all this shit to say about we were kings and queens in Africa. What the fuck does that shit got to do with all today we see it dope dealers and killers? Who gives a fuck about what our ancestors did in Africa 5,000 years ago? And I understand the importance of us knowing our history, because any race that forgets their history is bound to repeat it. But what the fuck does it tell me 13, 14-year-old boy that our ancestors was kings in Africa when them motherfuckers all they seeing is poverty and drug dealers, pimps, and robbers today? Nigga, we need to start dealing with the right now. So y'all say these cats are conscious, and these cats are millionaires. These cats don't even live around y'all. But they can get on this on Facebook, YouTube, and other social media platforms and tell you some shit that's not nowhere near relevant to your struggle today. I tell you what, won't them niggas teach you and your children the importance of geometry? Because if your child know how to read a ruler, know how to measure and add and subtract, do you realize your 14, 15-year-old boy that you signed up for one of them crazy chicks, now he's on ADD, and they kicking him out of school because they labeled him a behavior problem? If he learned how to add, subtract, and read a ruler, measure shit, do you realize that 14, 15-year-old boy can now go and apply for a license as a carpenter? Why ain't they teaching us about the importance of mathematics, of science, of geometry? Them niggas would rather teach us about some shit that nobody really gives a fuck. Who gives a fuck about Tutankhamun and how black people in Africa 5,000 years ago was the foremost leader on making fire, when right now all black folks are doing is setting fire to our own neighborhoods, bro. The truth is what it is. But I get labeled as a bad guy. I get labeled as a troublemaker. I get no support, and I'm the only one really telling y'all the truth. You don't give a fuck how it's received. It's crazy, man. Now, from this point on, I'm going to be perfect in my diet, my grammar. I'm going to articulate everything else that I say from this point with perfect English. Even if I did that, you still wouldn't be satisfied, because I'm not going to say what you want me to say. And that's the problem. You all want me to tell you that white supremacy is a problem. Yes, it is a problem. But the real problem is the way we as black people conduct and carry ourselves without having to hold ourselves accountable for our decisions that we make today. You got all these so-called conscious Negroes that will sit back and tell you that white supremacy has made us so inferior through our educational system, yet them niggas got motherfucking degrees. If the white supremacy was and our education system was such a problem, how did these Negroes get all these degrees? But they telling you and I that we can't because of white supremacy. I got 2 or 3 myself, or certification, or whatever. So if I can get this education, and the way I cuss and do whatever, why can't you and your children? So do y'all realize black people got more opportunities now than we've ever had in the history of black people in America? But those well-to-do bourgeoisie Negroes who play like they are so conscious continue to tell you that you can't make it because our educational system is inferior, which in fact is true to an extent. But again, if it's so inferior, how come these Negroes got 2 or 3 degrees? How did they get so, quote unquote, intelligent or so much knowledge about ancient Africa? Some shit nobody really gives a fuck about in modern day America. But yet still, they get all the donations. They Facebook page, they YouTube channel be blowing up. You go watch these Negroes right now, they latest video, you see the cash out button hit, still being hit. Most of y'all don't like Tommy Sotomayor. I like the dude. The dude be telling some real truth. But guess what? When you look at his Facebook page, when he was doing YouTube, that brother shit was popping. You got people sending him $50, $100 every video. This dude could do one video, a 2-hour video, and make $6,000, $7,000 in 2 hours. But Negroes say I'm big, and when I ask them to hit the cash out. So you really think I give a fuck about people's opinions on my channel, and they don't support this channel at all? I don't give a fuck if we drop back down to 1 subscriber, 1 faithful subscriber. I'm still be me, man. I'm no longer going to try to pacify a group of people who won't even support me. I'm not going to do it. What sense does it make? If I know you're not going to support me, why would I try to appease you? When it's the way that I have been and the way that I carried myself is what brought me to this point where you're following and subscribing to this channel, but now you want me to change just because you are here. Fuck that. Y'all give me a second. Let me go get me some more ice water. Hell, there ain't but 2 people watching right now anyway. Y'all give me a second. We're going to come back and talk about the latest on Haiti. All right, I'm back, y'all. We see we got 3 people still watching. Y'all give me a second. I want to try something. I want to see if YouTube's really playing the game that I think they playing. Because I believe we got way more people watching this video or trying to watch this video or don't even know that this video going. Give me one more second. See what it is? It's hard for me to see anything. I know as of right now, I don't see any comments on this channel. So y'all forgive me. There's going to be a brief pause in this video. It's not technical difficulty. I want to see what the video is showing me on the actual YouTube channel. And the only way I can do this is I'm going to have to step off for a second. So y'all give me 1 second. Okay, nope. It's just what I saw, what it is. There's only 3 people watching, but we got 3 likes. 3 people watching, 3 likes. And tomorrow, everybody be in my inbox or everybody be telling me, why you didn't say this or why you say it like this. Why the fuck would I try to appease you all when you don't support a nigga? We started out with 5 people. When I started talking about Shakari Richardson, that shit dropped instantly. Because I'm not saying what you want me to say. And if I say what you want me to say and try to be who you want me to be, guess what? Then I cease to be who God created me to be. So I'm not going to do it. I am not going to play that game. I don't give a goddamn if there's only one person that watched my video. That one person is going to be the most intelligent thinking person in America, right along with me. Because I'm not fixing to change to appease anybody. If I'm wrong, then I will admit it. But as long as I'm speaking from factual truth, why would I change my who I am to become somebody who you all want me to be when you won't even fucking support the channel? That shit's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen at all. I refuse. I'll let this channel sit dormant for the rest of my life before I change and stop speaking the truth just to get a like or just to get a donation. Whereas most motherfuckers will switch up to format their message to whatever it is that you all want them to say. Guess what? If they're saying what you want them to say, they're no longer themselves. They're your puppet. Now, I done ran it for 44 minutes. Y'all give me a second. I know I'm doing a lot of interruptions. I don't give a fuck. Ain't 2 people watching anyway. Y'all give me a second. And again, y'all, I'm back. I'm not saying these things to be mean, disrespectful, or unappreciative, but I'm saying these things because at what point, man, do I keep it real and stop trying to appease people? Because once you start trying to appease people, you lose the value of who you are. You lose your identity because you're trying to become what somebody else thinks that you should be. That's not going to happen with me. It's not. And guess what? Y'all notice over the last few days, I have been more consistent with this channel than I've ever been. But at the same time, I have come to the realization that God allowed this channel to get where it's at by me being who I am. Why should I change who God made me to appease a bunch of people who don't even fucking support me? Come on, ain't that common sense? Nobody in the last month, the last few weeks, since I've been doing these videos pretty much regularly, nobody's hit the cash out. Very few people even hit the like or share. Now, one thing I do admit, when people do come in and watch the video, and our likes to view ratio is real good. On average, for every 4 people that watch this broadcast, we get a like. So if 100 people watch the broadcast, we get 20, 30 likes. So I am grateful for that. But we need 1,000 people to watch these videos so that we can get this message of Black people being responsible for our actions, accountability. When we talk about racism, white supremacy, and all those things, we need more and more people to watch these videos, so that in itself will help us with the algorithm that YouTube are using to suppress this channel. A lot of people right now are not watching this video because they're not getting notifications. And guess what? Who fault that is? That's YouTube. YouTube is deliberately suppressing this channel because they don't want me to give you all the real news behind that fake ass news. They want me to continue to entertain you with a bunch of fucking lies or a bunch of African fucking history that has nothing to do with the reality that we live in today. Because again, who gives a fuck about what happened in Africa 4,000 years ago when in America 4 minutes ago somebody really literally just in Shreveport. I'm just saying this because I just saw this before. I came just a couple of minutes, 40 minutes ago, while I was doing this video, right before I did it, niggas got shot. 2 of my partners got shot last week. We're on track in Shreveport to crush the record that we set last year for murder. And y'all want me to sugarcoat shit when our people die? Y'all want me to talk about how we used to irrigate Egypt with the Nile 40,000 years ago when that shit ain't got nothing to do with helping us stop the violence that just took place 40 minutes. No, I'm not going to. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to get ready to end this video right now. And I'm going to go back, sit back and look at it and see just how offensive I was. I know I can be very offensive when I want to. But you're really sure I do it for a reason. And the reason is those who are going to support this channel are going to still be here. But all you motherfuckers that's looking to be entertained, y'all going to run away from this channel real quick. Because no longer will I try to appease your sensitivity when our people are suffering every day at the hands of white supremacy, but most importantly, at the hands of ourselves. Black people have more opportunities today than we've ever had in our lifetime. You can't sit up here and say that our education system is failing when we got all these black so-called motherfucking conscious people with all these degrees are prospering and telling the rest of us that we can't prosper because our schools are failing us. They didn't fail them, did it? We cannot prosper when we'll sit around here and make an excuse for Sha'Carri Richardson to continue to motherfucking smoke weed and blame that shit on white supremacy, but not hold her accountable for her actions, while at the same time, your nephew failed a drug test, and now he's back in prison because he violated his probation. Did you blame that shit on white supremacy, or you blamed it on Lil Pee Wee? No, most likely you blamed it on Lil Pee Wee. So if Lil Pee Wee do the same thing that Sha'Carri Richardson did, why the fuck should we hold her accountable? You held your own nephew accountable for his bad choice. Why you want to hold this black woman accountable when she knew she had the most important race of her life coming up, and she fuck around chose to smoke some motherfucking weed? And then she said, I'm human. Well then, bitch, guess what? Other humans said that you are not allowed or qualified to run that race. So who fault is that? Hers or theirs? Theirs or hers? It is what it is, man. I try my best, man, to keep it real and bring you all knowledge, wisdom, and an alternative point of view to look at as opposed to what the mainstream would want me to do. And here I am. I'm persecuted. In the Bible, Paul says, have I become your enemy simply because I tell you the truth? And it looks like I have, because nobody supports this channel. If nobody is supporting me financially, then why should I say what they want me to fucking say? This is why I don't take money from sponsors. Because when you take money from sponsors, your message gets diluted because you no longer can be yourself. You have to be with whoever is giving you that money. You have to be with whatever they want you to do, or say be who they want you to be. But it would be nice to have a die-hard and dedicated group of subscribers who literally see the value in what I do. But until then, fuck it. I'm gonna keep doing what it is that the creator calls me to do. And if we don't get but one view on every video, eventually I'm gonna stop doing the video. If we don't continue to get the support that we need financially, I'll stop doing the video. And then come back with a whole nother channel where all I talk about is rappers. And I bet that bitch, that channel there will blow up because y'all love to hear about rappers killing each other or their latest escapade. Motherfuckers love to hear about the latest episode of Ghosts, motherfucking drug dealers. We love that shit there. But when it comes to educating ourselves, we want to blame the white man, saying that we can't get a quality education when you got a black man that's trying to give you some knowledge to make you think a little bit different than what the indoctrination is, and you won't even support it. So until then, hey, those of y'all who like this video, please continue to hit the like, the share button. Those of y'all who really like what I do, even though lately I've been going off, hey, make a donation. Hit the Cash App or PayPal. It's right down at the bottom. I'm not gonna beg y'all for the money, for financial support. Because I don't need none of you motherfuckers talking about, here you go begging again. Fuck it. I'm just saying, hit the Cash App. If you do, you do. You don't, you don't. But don't be surprised you wake up one day and this channel is no more. Then you won't have me to not like or to kick around or to talk about no more. Because I'm going on to something else. Because when I talk about shit, I don't just talk about it. Like I had to get on some people the other day. Man, I'm out here in my neighborhood, my city, literally fighting the system to make change. And I come on these videos to try to impart what I've learned in my dealings with City Hall here in Shreveport. And nobody really appreciates it. But I bet you if I got to be talking about how big Carter B pussy was, everybody be hitting the like button. They want to hear shit like that. Hey, y'all be blessed.